We'll get underway. All right, excellent. I've got 8 o'clock sharp. Folks that come in, they'll be a little late, but that's perfectly fine. Welcome, everyone, to our weekly DAO VC for Famous Fox Federation. This week's been kind of a crazy, exciting week, with a lot of our things we pushed out, including Roadmap 2.0. So I don't want to dawdle on it too much, but we'll go ahead and get started. For those of you that are joining us from YouTube, we certainly welcome you to the voice channel that we have going on here for the Famous Fox Federation. If you wouldn't mind to like and subscribe, certainly would appreciate that. All right, sorry about that. Just getting rugged by a delivery guy. Doesn't usually happen this late at night on a Saturday. Anyway, where was I at? Welcome from the YouTube side. I'll go ahead and probably edit that out from the audio, so that'll be a little bit smoother, but everyone in here gets to know that I'm a real person. We'll kind of go ahead and we'll jump right into it. This week's been an exciting week, starting off with our announcement of our Roadmap 2.0. So what I'll do is I'll kind of go through that roadmap. So for those of you that aren't familiar, we did post Wednesday on our Wednesday announcement a Medium article that kind of went into a little bit more detail around our Roadmap 2.0. And I think one of the more important pieces to this really is to kind of put out like more of an official vision, for our project. I think a lot of people over the past call a couple of months have been like asking, as far as like the vision side goes, like what are we, what's the end goal, and I think like that's kind of challenging in the Web3 space because like ultimately, you just want to keep building and you want to provide value as best as you can, to your holders. So, we talked more about it and we were figuring the way that we're developing our brand, it's not just from the utility side. I mean, we are heavy on the utility side and that, without a doubt is going to be, our primary focus with regard to what we build in the Web3 space. But we're also interested, in developing the brand behind Foxes, essentially to get more into the entertainment industry. So, really that's kind of a large statement, but primarily around, the potential for, like a TV kind of series type thing or a digital, a web series. And then also the possibility of something that's a bigger version of like a game. Like we don't have the gaming resources, but the more that we see other projects like building out games, if there's a way that we can kind of position ourselves to join forces and to kind of make something that's a bit more impactful in the space. And obviously, we would do it in more of a strategic fashion. We'll just pick the first project like, oh, you're making a game, we're going to join forces with you. That's what we'd like to get to. I think that would be pretty awesome for the Foxes, especially from the brand side, just because of how relatable Foxes are. You can see the PFPs if you scroll through the spaces we have here as you're scrolling through crypto Twitter. Like you can easily identify when someone owns a famous Fox if they represent it. Even if they change the background, if they put a bunch of them in their actual PFP. It's easily identifiable. And I think that speaks for itself to be able to be a bigger thing than just, what we've created so far from a branding's perspective. So looking forward to seeing, the way that those opportunities develop. We don't have anything official as of yet for it, but that's part of what we are building out, as time kind of progresses into that wave. So going through our 2.0 items that we've talked about that we're going to be pushing out, within the next, I'll say 3-ish to 6-ish months. I don't want to put like a particular timeline on any one of these items, but, keep an eye out for them as they come out in the near future. First is our website redesign. We've gotten a lot of good feedback from a lot of people about essentially our landing page and our website and trying to freshen it up. I mean, it's been the same way for a while. We have a lot of stats and such that exist within our collection. I think people like numbers. They like to see, what are the Foxes doing? Why should I buy a Fox? What can a Fox do? It's just a lot of those different things I think can be put in a more concise fashion on our landing page. where it really kind of sticks out and it kind of shows the value in owning a Fox, and most likely will convince people to buy in and hold a Fox. So we're excited about that. We're in the works for getting a rebrand done for our landing page on our website. I think for the most part, our tools and such won't really change. Maybe some font changes and things to make it a little bit more clear. If you've interacted with our token marketplace over the past week or so, we've rebranded that a little bit to make it a lot easier. We went away with the larger cards and we've done it as like line items. Still function the same way. You just click on the trade button now versus like just the card. And from there, you'll see a listing of all the tokens that are listed within that set. So just makes things a little bit easier, a little bit cleaner, a little more organized, and a little more user friendly. So looking forward to kind of developing that out, and hopefully that will elevate the brand of Foxes just by having a little bit of a website redesign. The next item in our roadmap, which I'm pretty excited about, I've always had the vision of getting this, into our missions, but obviously there's other pieces we have to create first before we can just roll this out. But that's around raid missions. So I'm, it's no surprise that I'm a RuneScape nerd, but I've always been involved, or I've always kind of seen the MMORPGs, video games that have existed, since forever. And I love the idea of, the collective community getting involved in, a bigger mission to kind of send Foxes off onto. Obviously, the larger the scale, the larger the rewards go. So we're trying to figure out how to tweak that a little bit. I think we'll probably have like raid chests versus just like regular treasure chests that you would end up getting for a raid, and that would have just different percentages for items that you can get from the reward side for it. So I'm looking forward to it. In the website, or on Medium, I should say, we've put in there that require 20 plus Foxes. We haven't really figured out exactly how many Foxes. We're going to base off of the traits, and just kind of understanding there's a certain percentage of people that won't participate in those raid missions. So it's just one of those things that we want to kind of make a little bit better, and make sure that the community really feels like they have a higher level of involvement with them. So I'm pretty excited about them. I'm pretty excited to see the lore side, the banner side that we can create for them. I think that's one of the stronger things that we have as a brand, really is kind of around the lore and artistic renderizations of our Foxes. I'm a huge fan. I know that there have been other people that have asked me about like our lore and our banners, and so I've always I always get a certain level of pride sharing that with other people, because I think that's pretty awesome. I see Regan's offering to come on up. How's it going there, Regan?
No, what's up, man?
Not much. I didn't know if you wanted to come on to talk anything specific, or if you were waiting for certain points to jump on in, but I was just going through our 2.0 Medium article that we have out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if there's anything that I feel I'll speak on, I'll hop on, but nothing on the agenda particularly.
Sounds good. Good having you over. Next item that we have in here is our music marketplace. So we've partnered with Hooli Gangs to create the first ever music only NFT marketplace on Solana, and so we're looking forward to they've had a vision that there's been a few things in the past that they've been trying to work on, and they've kind of had roadblocks associated with getting it done. And we just saw opportunity to reach out and see if there were synergies between what they want to create from a vision standpoint and what we have as a skill set side to be able to help with. And they were very much open to the idea of a partnership for it. So we're looking forward to kind of building that out. We've got some mock-ups. There's only so much of they can talk about it up front so far, but in the near future, this will certainly be a pretty big thing. I'm pretty excited about it. From a benefit side on Foxes, we still have to figure out what's the right angle for us to go. But basically, Foxes will get a benefit to be involved or interacting with the marketplace. So definitely looking forward to shoring more of that up, getting more information out as we go along and kind of build that up. But figured we'd throw that out there so folks know about it because we're pretty excited. When I talk a little bit about the entertainment side of the industry, I think everyone can kind of see the NFT space has primarily been, focused on the artist side from like a drawing PFP, creation side, and even with the lore elements and animation. But I think elevating it to the next level with the music, I know there have been. Other NFTs that are involved with the music industry and just kind of creating out from there. I think it just creates a lot more opportunity for a lot of other people that have talents outside of what's already being represented in the NFT space. And definitely looking forward to kind of building that out to provide that value to the rest of the Solana ecosystem. Next item we have are Fox rentals. So I know people have heard me talk about the, I'll call it like predatory lending side of things with NFTs. This is a bit different. This we're talking more so being able to do missions if you are like being able to partially complete them and you need, one more Fox or a Den or something like just to launch the mission. So these will be on a temporary basis. People will be allowed to kind of lend out their NFTs for missions. And that will just allow people to, get more opportunities to get fame, get the treasure chest from it, and get the rewards from there, while also giving a benefit to the original holder because they also could have gone on that mission, right? So there has to be like some benefit to the OG side too. And looking forward to kind of seeing how that kind of plays out to see what people think from the general lending side for Foxes and Foxy. Um, it's a bit different of a model than I think most other projects. Actually, I want to say probably than every other project out there that has a lending platform to it. But our missions are a bit more unique when it comes down to the requirements that are associated for them. We've got collab missions. The one this week was with pesky penguins and foxes, and we're not going to stop those. We're going to kind of just keep running with them because there's just a lot more projects that exist out there that have a similar vibe to what our community has kind of created, and people are kind of commingling between them, and it just makes sense to be able to offer more opportunities for people to get their NFTs staked in foxes as well, for getting our stake rewards that we have. So I think it's pretty fun, and I'm kind of curious to see how it kind of plays out with foxes, renting out their foxes. Next item we have is our merch. So I know I constantly talk about merch here all the time, and people probably drive people up the wall. I mean, part of the merch angle is that it's quite tough to get like legit designs that we feel that people would want to represent. It's going to be outside of your actual NFT, right? I think a lot of people know how they can get their actual NFTs on t-shirts and such. I know there've been community members that have done that at cost for shipping, and I know there've been other people that have posted like mugs and just different articles that they've gotten created with their own foxes, and I think that's awesome. I think that I think there's definitely a market out there that exists for it. But for us, we're talking more like doing, our official merch line and kind of just creating different elements for it, kind of building that out some, and just allowing people to kind of represent the foxes. And we're working on designs. We'll get some stuff out there. We'll probably push like I'll say a bunch more designs than what we or what most people probably would think that we'd end up doing, only have like a few here or there. But that way there's variety. People can buy what they want. They might be limited time for some of them. So, or limited stock, I'll say, for some of them. So they might become like a little bit more collectible, if you will, from the merch side. But it's just to give an opportunity for people to be able to kind of represent foxes in any way, shape, or form, from hoodies, shirts, coffee mugs, really whatever people are interested in buying that we can get a design for. Especially with our banners. I think getting our banners onto merch would be amazing for certain different pieces. I actually saw, and not that it's been official or anything yet, but someone had posted mouse gaming boards or pads that were like long rectangle esque shaped things, and I think if we got our banners or some of our banners on those would be pretty sweet to sell out to people. So just ideas, but merch is definitely part of what we are planning on doing with our 2.0 roadmap. We've got our Fame leaderboard and upgrades. So from the Fame leaderboard side of things, a lot of people were asking about that, about how they can see, who's like the top fox, if you will. And very similar to what we have with Dens, we'll have the Fame leaderboard on there. That's basically just to show, the ranks of foxes, and it would help too for secondaries because it doesn't show up in the metadata on like Magic Eden or any listing platform, but the levels do transfer with foxes. So once we have missions that are level gated, foxes will be more valuable the higher levels they are if they're able to do certain missions. So that's going to add a little bit to the mix with the pricing side. I'll say the pricing side, but really with what the value is for those foxes that have been going on missions and have been kind of getting those levels with Fame. So you'll be able to check those out in the leaderboard and just to figure out what levels they are. Some people get surprised when they see that a fox has levels to it, which I think is kind of cool right now, but I think it'll be more transparent once we get that system up and running properly. We're also planning on building out a raffle service, which will allow anyone to raffle verified NFTs for any token. So you'll be able to set, a number of tickets, a price and duration, and then the proceeds will be split between the creator and the famous foxes. And if it's Foxy, it'll get burnt. Any other tokens will get liquidated, and that will go into our DAO treasury. So just to kind of keep an eye out for that, I think that will be quite fun. There's a lot of different tokens that are out there that people might want to sell off NFTs for, whether it's ones you've created, if it's part of a verified collection that we have, or if it's ones just from anything that you want to list out there. I think it'll be kind of fun, and people seem to enjoy the raffles and the auctions, just to kind of have a small chance of being able to win, a specific NFT that's out there. So I think that'll be kind of cool. Next, we have our 3D foxes. So that's been something we've had in the works for a little while. It's challenging because most people that we get involved with, they're either part of a project that already is creating 3D NFTs and they don't have the bandwidth, or it's people that are trying to make 3D NFTs for a collection, and they it's just like the quality and timing and such can be like very all over the place, I'll say. But we're working on getting a more official 3D Fox for all of our holders, so that way when we have these different 3D metaverses that come out and become popular, you're able to represent your Fox full time within that metaverse. And I'm quite excited to see what our final designs are for them, and the ways that people can go ahead and get their foxes, and the way they get imported into different metaverses. I mean, that's definitely going to be a challenge, but those metaverses are creating them in such a way that will be possible. So definitely looking forward to that. I think that's going to be one of the biggest items on our roadmap from a hype perspective with the foxes, because I think once you're able to get into, like, say, portals, for example, and you're able to rock your fox, I think it'll be pretty big. I think people will be pretty excited about it, and I think I'm gonna say that we'll either be one of the first that will be on such a grand scale with the generative side for our foxes, or we're gonna be one of the like cleaner, better ones that come out there. So I'm pretty stoked for it once we have that finalized and delivered out. And of course, we'll give updates and things as that's kind of going underway. Jumping into website things, we were talking about, or we're in the works for developing a browser extension, so that way you can use our Foxy tools directly from using your browser. And just as an example, you'll be able to do like Foxy List or Sweep right from Magic Eden, or just send a ding, to a holder for an NFT. If you see one in there you want to buy, you could just send them a ding message, just to kind of give them an offer, or tell them to reach out to you, or however you want to go about it. But I think that would be pretty cool. Looking at the way we're designing it right now, definitely excited to have that finalized and push that out. I think that will be a big win for Foxes. Then we have our SPL token market. So we'll have multiple NFT marketplaces in Solana, but none that allow the listings for native SPL tokens. So it's just to empower projects to use their tokens in their ecosystems, like Foxy for Den Rooms. There are other actually, I don't know in what detail I can go, but there are other products that have been talking about doing this for their own tokens. But I think just to be able to kind of open it up for anyone, I think is definitely a huge win for the Solana ecosystem. So um, there will be a constant Solana sales fee that's split between the team and the DAO, but I think that will kind of add some solid value to the ecosystem. And we've got two more items. Second to last is our hypometer. So that was a submission by someone, but we've also talked about it a little bit before, I think in a few different chat channels, around kind of getting a collective group together to rally behind, some level of a cause or a thing. So like, basically just like our mint where we gave away a portion of our proceeds to charities, being able to have like certain milestones that unlock for giveaways or raffles or auctions, just to provide a way for folks to kind of basically sock Foxy into a thing, and everyone that kind of participates into it gets some level of reward based off of the hypometer milestones that we put all along it. So I think it'll be pretty fun. I think it kind of creates a lot more opportunities for us to be creative with what we do with Foxy, and to kind of get the community a little bit more involved. And we can have I'm sure there'll be social media tweets and such that go out about it, and just to try to get the last percentages of certain things for the raises. And I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I think from a community side it should provide some solid value out to everyone that gets involved with it. So that'll be pretty neat. And the last thing on here is mission items. So mission items are basically around the feedback we've gotten from folks where, when we launch missions, there's only certain missions that are available. So like they have a Fox that doesn't have those traits, but they'd like to do that mission, and they don't want to sell their Fox, buy another Fox with that trait, or those ones become more desirable around that period of time. So we're going to develop, and I'm not sure if it's going to be for every mission or for just more of the, I'll say, rarer missions, items that are one-time use that you buy for Foxy. That way you can put your Fox on a mission. We haven't decided, what the tokenomic side looks like for those items. It might be a net negative on average for just the Foxy reward. But you end up getting the fame from it, and you end up being able to put your Fox on that specific mission if you want. And there's the chance too that you can win a different token outside of just Foxy from our rewards. So something worth mentioning. I think it'll be kind of fun. We'll tweak it. It's not going to be perfect when we first put it out, but I think it'll be kind of cool for people to be able to have their Foxes go on certain missions, if they don't have that specific trait. So I'm curious to see how that pans out, and definitely interested to see, what the community thinks once we start running them. So that covers all of our items in our roadmap 2.0. I know we pushed that out on Sunday. We've gotten a lot of really, really good feedback. People are very interested in kind of seeing, the way that it develops, as we kind of, progress and deliver through on that roadmap. It's worth mentioning that, it's a large list. So don't expect it all to be done tomorrow. Things are in the works. We are working on, I'll say a lot, if not most of those items that are on that list. And, once they kind of roll out one at a time, just see how it kind of impacts Foxes and the ecosystem. And, I'm real interested to kind of see how everyone, likes those upgrades really that we have for our community. And really how it intertwines into Solana. I think with the metaverses, the 3D side, with getting the music marketplace up, there's just so much opportunity that exists out there that we'll be able to kind of get involved with as a community and as a project. And being able to build real cool stuff, and getting Foxes to have a benefit from everything that we also develop, because that's really what it's all about. So always welcome to feedback. If you guys have questions, once we kind of go through at least the main set of announcements, feel free to jump up and chat. More than happy to do so. But jumping through a little bit more, we have our next mission collab is the one that we just finished up was with DGods. So we put out the exterior, and I believe we put out the interior as well. We haven't yet, actually. So spoiler alert. There will be an interior for it. That should be finished and finalized, and I don't believe we've shipped it over to them yet, but we will be shipping it over to them soon. One that is currently being worked on is Bapes, and I think that one will be kind of fun. That one should be also, like, from the sneak peek side of things, coming out soon. Then we'll have who is next in our list after Bapes. I know Solana Storm was interested. They're in our list. We have man, the name escapes me. I have to make sure I write these things down next time. It'll come to me. I'll actually jump into my DMs to figure out who our next is in the stack. But Bapes is next on the list, and that is underway. We did push out our next round of missions, which have been underway currently, and they will be finishing up tomorrow. And definitely interested in kind of seeing how people like the rewards from that side. We've gotten this one, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, was our collab mission with Pesky Penguins. And it's worth mentioning too, I know it's later down the list, but we did add in the update where you don't have to, your NFT will still show up in your wallet for our staking, so it doesn't leave your wallet. But like Dev had announced, even though it's in your wallet and staked, you still have to unstake it if you want to sell or list it. So just to let everyone know about that as like a general public service announcement. And if you're interested in letting that happen, if you want to see it in your wallet versus not seeing it in your wallet, you have to unstake your Fox from our site and then restake it. So it will lose the time that you started the stake. So for those of you, myself included, that have had Foxes staked from day one, you kind of lose that time frame. Again, it's only if you want to see it in your wallet. It still works the same way. And once you do unstake and restake, then it will show up there, and it works the same way. And it's worth mentioning too that you will still have that 3-day lockup period. So if you do unstake restake, it will still have that 3-day lock. Some people were asking if we could waive that, and it's tough because then brand new buyers would be able to. It'd be a little bit challenging for us to figure out how to waive that lock period. So we're not going for the locking, or we're keeping the lock period in there as 3 days. So if you unstake and restake, it'll take 3 days to unlock. The Nine Tails Fox that went for the auction last week, that went for 550K Foxy. So that was pretty awesome, and I'm actually proud to say that the Poor DAO actually had won the Xeno transdimensional famous fox today for 1 million Foxy. So that's our largest famous fox friends and foes collection piece that was auctioned off, and super stoked about it. And I think Xeno was as well. And yeah, I think it's a huge win. I think it's really great for the Fox community. I think us having the representation of the Poor DAO is pretty amazing. And that's what it's all about. It's about like the community, the sub DAO side of things. We've gotten we've got great culture, within our community. So if people are interested, we have the Bronx DAO, we've got the Berk DAO, we've got the Poor DAO. There's opportunities that exist all over the place. Like we would never stop people from like wanting to create, a sub DAO, as long as like the culture fits in with us and it's not completely, ridiculous or potentially could violate, terms of service or like our, just general guidelines for our project. More than happy to let others have creative freedom to design and build out whatever they want within Foxes. So I think that's pretty awesome, and I'm proud that the Poor DAO had won that. So congratulations to them for buying that beautiful fox. So that's why you'll see for folks that aren't familiar with our Discord, if you jump in, you'll see a lot of people that have that same PFP, and that's because they all are the collective Poor DAO. So so if you're wondering, that's why. Let's see. Other things worth mentioning. Foxy auctions. So our Foxy auctions this month are going to be pretty stacked. So we've allocated a budget for 150 Solana that will go towards our Foxy auctions. We want the DAO to tell us really what they want to bid on. So we've made a Foxy auctions channel within our DAO where you can go and vote on what collections you want to be a part of this. They can be any NFT on Solana. We're open to it, but like that's our budget is 150 Sol for the auctions as a total. So if people want 150 Solana NFT for us to auction, we'll do that. But if you want 15 10 Solana NFTs, which I would say something that's larger, it might not have to be 10, it could be less than that, but NFTs of that caliber, we're open to doing that. I think that'd be pretty awesome, and plus more people will end up winning that way too, which I think is better for the system. So that again will be done via our raffle. So that will cost Foxy to buy those raffle tickets, and I'm going to guess that this will probably be the most sold out raffle that we've had to date. So anyone that's participated in the past and have won with them, definitely have some more competition for the upcoming auctions for this, to say the least. We've onboarded 3 new devs onto the Famous Fox team, basically to get us jump started with our 2.0 roadmap. So Dre Lasol, Winter, and Cyan Engineer are helping us out, to kind of help build out, more of the vision of Foxes. It's always been a good thing for us to try to get, additional dev talent, within the space. It's just very tricky from like a trust side and a quality side. We have to be strategic about who we decide we want to work with, because it's important for us as a community and as a brand. So just want to kind of give a formal announcement for them joining our team. And yeah, I believe that's the last bit of updates for us, because I've already mentioned our staking protocol update. So yeah, we've had a crazy busy week. Solana has been doing very well in the space, and there's just a lot of things that we're working on as a project, and I think we're finally getting some decent recognition. The Fox price has been absolutely crazy recently, so shout out to all our crazy Foxes. We're getting more and more people, to DM us, to give us, kind words about what we're building and about fading us and all that fun stuff. So it's entertaining to see, but I'm always appreciative, of the community, because I think, at its core, I mean, that's what really helps keep us moving and spreading the word, via social media, via whatever, via our Discord, staying active. Just shout out to the Foxes. Certainly appreciate everything that you guys help us out with too. Yeah. So no, I know you come back up, Regan. Did you have anything in particular you wanted to jump in and talk about? I'm reading through to see if there's questions and things that have popped out, but
nothing particular. Just in case. I had to run. I had to dip like probably 10, 15 minutes. I had to dip back, but yeah, just in case there are any, I thought I'd help you out in case there's any like dev related stuff going on.
Yeah, of course. No, how have things been going with you?
Oh, pretty good. Got back from the city, a little tired. The old apartment hunting, but not too bad. Better than expected. Should be good.
Good. Yeah, I don't even know, how is apartment hunting in the current like real estate space. It's got to be a nightmare, yeah.
I don't know, because this is my first time. I'm sort of like I have nothing really compare it to. If that makes sense. Like I rent. There's like other places I rented, but nothing like the big cities where it's like just outrageous. But tech pays well, so I'm fortunate enough to be in a place where it's like, ooh, this is expensive, but it's like within reach, if that makes sense.
Yeah, within your budget. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, I mean, I haven't even looked at, I mean, I've heard of what real estate prices are going for. I'm not in an area that's like heavily rented, so I've been completely ignorant towards how much rent is for places. But
yeah, I think for like 3 of us, we're not seeing anything below like 6K a month, and it goes
wow,
up to like 7 to mid 7s, which is like a lot. But it just kind of depends. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, of course.
like location's super big too. It like depends all throughout the city, depending on which part you're picking.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Well, does that mean that you picked one, or you're still hunting? Like, I don't know if I can congratulate you. Did you find a place?
No, we're down to 2, but start date's a little iffier now with the other people, so I gotta lock it down. But should be good. We're almost there, if that makes sense. I guess what I'm shooting for.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
In a
That's
much
cool.
better spot than I was at 9 a.m. this morning. So
Good
progress.
Yeah, progress is progress. No, that's good to hear. I mean, I'll open it up to others. I'm not seeing anyone asking any questions within chat. Definitely interested, to see if anybody has anything. If not, I mean, I'm not against cutting this short too. I know it's later in the day and not everyone wants to be on super late. But I figure it's worth at least sticking around for a little bit if anybody has any questions.
Where's Bronk's appearance?
I know. Well, Bronk's in here.
Week.
He said he had other things going on, so I'm not pressuring him into jumping up and talking.
I'm disappointed. I was
Yeah,
looking
I
forward
know.
to his week.
It's all right. I'll have to figure out a good time next Saturday to get Bronk and maybe Frank, see if they can battle each other or something on Twitter Spaces.
Is it even a weekly update without Bronk? It's just a Twitter space.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. I do appreciate too the representation of the orange in so many names. Shout out to that movement. That was something that's also worth mentioning. That's Bronk kicked off this week. That I think it makes sense. There've been a lot of projects that have had their Thugbirds with their calls and just different things that other projects say to kind of rally behind, but I think the orange, movement fits our brand perfectly well, and plus the creation of all the gifts just absolutely cracked me up. And I think it's a mix, if I'm not mistaken, between Brink and others. I think Gway had made that the well, I don't know if it's. I'm gonna say Super Saiyan. I know that's not Super Saiyan, but whatever that manifesting is, and I'm gonna sound like a complete nerd that I don't know that much about Dragon Ball Z. But sorry, not sorry.
Makes 2 of us.
What's that?
Makes 2 of us.
Oh, okay, maybe it's next week 2 of us. All right, good. That makes me feel a little bit better. Oh, okay. I see a question. Yeah. Feel free to ping me on it too, because I apologize. It looks like normal text I'm watching through, but Neanderthal was asking if there's a possibility to accelerate or shorten a mission for a reduced reward. That's interesting. We haven't really talked about that. I think from a general standpoint with projects, I mean, usually, a project kind of creates a staking mechanism to basically kind of take NFTs off a market for a period of time, just to kind of reduce the number of supply that exists out there. But yeah, I think it makes it complicated from a contract side. And Regan, you might know a little bit more insight to that, of being able to kind of terminate, a staking contract early, to get a reduced reward. But
I mean, I could see where you could, but I think the reduced reward is like, I'm trying to say, like when you stake for Foxy, you can sort of take it out early for a reduced reward, right? Because you're basically just like foregoing future rewards,
yeah,
which I think is easier from implementation point of view than like reducing like the rewards that were set up front. So maybe some sort of like tiers of missions, like one that lasts. Oh, we already have that now, right? Like, so not all missions last a week or whatever. It is possible, but it's a little tricky.
Yeah, I think it's tricky too, and you know, it's it really brings up the question as to like, what's the reason for kind of cutting it out short? You know, my guess would be primarily that, you know, the floor price pumps or whatever, and someone wants to get, you know, exit liquidity for it. So I don't know. I think it's a little bit challenging. It's something we definitely can talk about behind the scenes, but I don't want to promise that we'll change it up. Yeah, sellers of foxes, exactly. I was gonna say, let me see if Harambe's in here. I can harass him a little bit. He sold a fox early and then had to like, I think he wants to like buy one back, but now the floor price is going up, so I give him crap for it. It was pretty funny. I think he sold a Centurion helmet too, which is what really got me. So shout out for a little shit talking to other foxes, but there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people either, you know, need money for one thing or another. You know, it's going to happen, right? It's a free market. People can do whatever they want to do, but I'm here for sure to yeah, don't bet against the orange. Find it hilarious. Let's see. Not getting any other questions in there. Let's see anything in alpha. Oh man, fun guys are pretty cool. Yeah, I was looking at that fun guys project that came out today. And I really want to get one that has a morel head on it. So if any fox gets one or sees one that has morel head, let me know because I'm interested. I'm guessing they're on Magic Eden. Is that what this picture is from? Yeah, so I have to go poke around Magic Eden, but I'm interested. Do I like Stacy? What the hell is Stacy? Is that like something D's nuts?
You see the doodle dongs?
No.
I mean, I'm trying to find them like and share it. I think I was like on the train. I saw it and I went over it and I was like, wait, did I just? Is that what I thought it was?
I have to look this up now. Is it like a legit collection?
I think so. Doodle.
I'm always about these like ridiculous NFTs.
What was that one? The monkey with the dick nose?
Oh,
that was a rug or whatever.
Yeah, that was recent.
Not that surprised.
Yeah.
not trying to affiliate one way, but oh, here it is. Oh, I found the doodle dongs. Let's go. Here you go. Shared it in the chat.
Which chat did you put it in?
Or in the space. It's pinned at the top.
Oh, pinned at the top. Why can't I see it?
You got it?
I don't think so.
At the top of the space, it doesn't say shared by me.
No, not that I can see. Oh, there you go. I got
it. Dude.
Oh my god, they're so bad. Oh my god.
I couldn't believe it, dude.
That's so funny. See, that's part of the problem, though. Is it? I'm gonna guess is this a Solana NFT? I don't know. They don't have much in here.
No roadmap? Unbelievable.
This is something with ETH.
Maybe it is ETH.
I don't know. If it's ETH, it makes more sense. But like the what do you want to call it? Derivatives from ETH collections onto Solana does not help. You know, the credibility side for Solana and what we're building. Oh, Nian's on here. Let me bring him up. Him or her? Hey, Neanderthal.
Hey, what's up, bud? Hey, I just wanted to read this
Oh,
question. Can you hear me?
yeah. How's it going?
Hey, my boy. So, Biscuit was the one that asked. Let's see here. Biscuit asked was the original one that asked, and then he said the reason he wanted to ask for the shortening was due to work. My redemption date keeps getting later and later in the week. So that's
Ah.
where the issue for Biscuit is. And I just wanted to, I know you guys were looking at, I don't know what the fuck you guys were looking at, Doodle Dogs, but I wanted to
Dude,
ask
what do
this.
you
I
what do you
was
what do you
like,
mean,
bro, what
man?
the fuck is going on? I'm like tagging you in chat. So he was like, dude, I'll ask later. I was like, nah, dude, I'll fucking get on. We're gonna ask this right fucking now. So that's
I'm
that's
sorry,
where the
I
question
hijacked
came
about
from.
Doodle Dongs.
Just figured I'd let you guys know.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I see the ping now
It's okay,
too.
dude. Hey, look, some dongs get you distracted. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it, dude.
Of
It is
course.
what it is.
Yeah, I mean, is that a doodle dong in your DMs? You're just happy to
I
see me.
mean,
Um,
I mean. So there you go. Maybe there could be something where, oh, whatever. That's where the entirety of the question is, and it's from
yeah,
Biscuit. Yeah. So Biscuit is actually the
Yeah, no,
main
I think
main
it's a great
hitter.
question.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one thing that I'll mention for people that have been getting like later and later times for redemption because it does take a little bit, right, to claim and then restake a fox into a mission. Uh, we are planning on getting to a point where like missions will like come out like little at a time, but then they'll be on like a rolling basis. So like every 4 days like one set of missions will expire and like another set of missions will come out, so there'll be like a constant like roll of missions. So I think it'll become less and less of a problem for the early redemption side. But we can definitely chat more about like how we're planning on like structuring that, and especially for people that have NFTs that are like already locked into something, for how what our vision is for getting people to like if we can like redeem early so that way they could stake into something different. It's challenging because like the rewards for these really are like treasure chests. So I don't know if like we give an uneven amount of fame and then like you forego the treasure chest or something. That way you're able to like at least get a portion of it, but then you'd end up missing out on Foxy. So it makes it a little bit complex to figure out the best solution for it. But if people are interested, I mean, we can definitely chat more about it, maybe come up with something to have the community vote on, and push that out based off of what feedback we get.
Sure. Yeah. I actually had a question myself, and possibly a suggestion,
Sure.
just based on the small interaction that I do have while I'm in chat. It seems that when people want to do trades, you hear 100 Foxy, but that number doesn't compute for most people. So, like, they instantly go, I'm willing to go to y'all, but they won't go to Foxy Trade, which is absolutely what the point is, right? Is to use the services that are given there. And then I see people offering, they're like, I'll just give you the 100. That's not a problem. Um, so I was wondering if there was a possibility where maybe if they don't have it, when they click it, maybe they can either like, hey, you're missing Foxy, go to these sites. Or I had mentioned, I think Brink had said it's not possible to like swap into it for them. Like they have to go get the Foxy, buy the Foxy, and then do it. But if you can somehow show like a ticker of what it would cost versus, maybe it would incentivize more individuals to understand like, hey, we equally have services that do the same thing, but sometimes there's a disconnect because 100 sounds like, man, I don't want to pay 100, right? The disconnect of the price tends to maybe lead them away. At least for me initially, I know I didn't want to swap. I was like, man, 100, that sounds crazy. But once you like learn the entire price structure, I guess it's probably cheaper to do it here than it is in y'all. So I just figured I'd mention that.
Yeah, no, that's a great question and a great point. We've talked about this before internally about like the idea for how we can kind of grant, I'll say like mass adoption to use our swapping tool a bit better. Um, we might actually like this might be a good point. Like I don't know if you mind throwing that like into a suggestion, but maybe what we'll do is like we'll try to make a more official structure for our swapping platform. to make it something like our thoughts that we've seen from other people are like, make it a low percentage for, for whatever Solana's, traded in the swap, if there is any, and then make it free for foxes, so in that way it doesn't cost anything if you have a fox that's staked. So that way foxes still get the benefit of using the tool. Technically, you're still earning Foxy from your stake. You just get to use it on the other tools that we have. And, it kind of makes sense to have a model similar to that because, if you're swapping an NFT for an NFT, there wouldn't be a percent of anything taken anyway. So it's just the gas fee on there. And that's what it's meant for. It's meant to be, a safe and secure place that people can swap NFTs. But if someone wants to swap, for Solana as a portion of it, then we could charge, a percentage out of it. A portion of those fees goes towards the DAO, and it'll just make the next round of, auctions that we do, sicker, or we'll be able to kind of create what we're working on quicker. So, I mean, definitely open to the opinions. Definitely would be interested. We do hear this more and more often. Actually, there's quite a lot of people that DM us too that are interested in us kind of changing up the structure that we have for Foxy Swap. I think because the platform is so clean and easy to use that they kind of prefer to use it over y'all, which obviously is why we build things. Well, not primarily why we built it. We built it because we wanted a swapping platform to exist. But I think trying to figure out a better way for mass adoption will kind of go a long way for our project. So definitely open to kind of changing things out.
All right, man. Well, thank you guys. And if you're in the chat, dude, throw your orange circles, man. Killer.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Brink for the orange, for
hey,
sure.
Yo. Hell yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy your jigs or whatever.
Yeah. Thanks, of course.
Guys.
No, I appreciate that.
Oh man.
No, thanks for the questions, Nia. I appreciate you coming on here too. I apologize for missing your pings. I do see them. Of course, the dongs had me confused, and I was poking around looking at other chats. Yeah, but I'll see if there's any other questions. I know coming up on the hour soon, and I don't really want to eat too much of people's weekends, so. Unless anyone has anything specific, and I'll just jump into alpha to make sure I'm not missing anything. I think I'm going to end up cutting y'all loose. What is Stacy? Am I missing something? I don't understand this. Foxy Simp is destroying me because I don't know if I'm familiar with this. We're planning to collab with Lux. We've reached out to Lux before to try to get, I think they had, I don't remember exactly what they call their passes, the mansions, I believe, for Lux, if I'm not mistaken, and they haven't responded. So maybe. All right, I'll look up Stacy and I'll let you know who my favorite Stacy member is. Right now, Stoned API Club. I don't even know what that is. Is it Stoned Apes? Or are they just calling themselves the Stoned API Club? I'm so confused. Y'all are killing me. Oh, yeah. Eventually, Soul Rano's asking if we'll have a Jambo collab mission. Eventually we will, yes. We like the Jambos. Yeah. Interesting. Send me more information, Achi. I'll look around at Stacy. We'll see what we can do. We'll get things moving. But it sounds good. I'll cut everyone loose. Thank you all for attending. As always, stay safe out there. Use a burner wallet when minting. Don't accept DevNet funds. They're always a scam. And as always, if you have questions, reach out to our community or to myself. My DMs are always open. If I don't get back to you in a short period of time, I'll say within a day, please ping me again. I do have a lot of DMs that fall off my radar, and I will apologize for that up front. But definitely want to build out, and help the community as best as possible. And I just remembered off the top of my head, another Den collab, which will be coming up soon, will be for Goonie Tunes. So alpha at the end there. You guys have a good rest of your weekend, and we will talk to you all in Discord and look forward to our announcements going out tomorrow. All right, stay safe, everyone.